All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Good evening, happy hump day, or happy hump afternoon, I should say. The morning starts off with the military sergeant in Georgia on base shooting 5 of his co-workers, or should I say colleagues, or should I say military buddies. No friendly fire is allowed in the platoon. I had to make sure I was wearing my old throwback PT shirt for this one, because it just doesn't make any sense. But let's take a dive into the story and see what we know so far. Let's roll the clip. Shout out to NBC.
With a developing story, 5 soldiers are hurt after a shooting at a military post in Georgia. It happened at Fort Stewart near Savannah. Fort Stewart is one of the largest Army installations in the country.
The suspected shooter, an Army sergeant, is now in custody. NBC5 investigator Chuck Gowdy is joining us with what we have learned about him today. Chuck?
Alex Marion, after the Army post attack this morning, Fort Stewart still a law enforcement hot zone. No longer an active shooter situation, the gunman in custody, but with at least 5 soldiers shot and wounded at one of the nation's largest military bases. Authorities are trying to figure out how and why a 28-year-old Army sergeant from Florida would have opened fire on his colleagues. Here's what we know. The good news, all 5 wounded soldiers expected to survive.
And see, that's the part that gets me. He didn't kill any of them. You have to understand, soldiers are trained to shoot to kill. Not shoot him in the leg, shoot him in his arm. You know, like people do jewelry stores, shoot him. No, they gun you down. It's kill or be killed in the military. So it's equivalent to somebody that wants to delete themselves, self-delete, jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. You tried to kill yourself in your own life, but you failed. You want to know why you failed? Because you really didn't want to die. Because how come after the first attempt you failed, you didn't keep finding other ways to do it, to carry out the act? And it's the same thing with this. Out of all those 5 people, none of them were severely hurt to the point to where they almost died. So this is something else going on.
3 of them following surgery. The attack suspect, now identified as 2nd Brigade Sergeant Quornelius Radford, his first name spelled with the letter Q. Investigators say Radford used his own personal pistol to shoot 5 co-workers. They say violating facility rules by bringing a non-military handgun to work. A weapons trace now underway by federal firearms investigators and military police to determine where the gun came from and how he got it. A short time ago, Fort Stewart Brigadier...
I mean, it doesn't matter. He assaulted 5 people. I mean, would it make it better if it was a registered military gun?
General John Lubas with some details.
The shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators, and we believe we'll gain more information here shortly. Soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody.
This photo of the suspected shooter.
This old funny looking ass. Look how close his eyes are together. He just looked like a weirdo. What the fuck? It's always some funny looking motherfucker doing shit like this, I swear.
Shooter, 28-year-old Quornelius Radford, is from an arrest for driving under the influence. Military officials say that DUI was not reported to Radford's superiors, and such an offense typically means severe consequences under military justice, many times including expulsion.
I'm gonna be racist for a few minutes. You know, a lot of times when black guys are involved in shit like this, a lot of times it's over a female. I'm gonna be pissed off if it was over a female, because it just seems like it's always black people that do shit to other people, take personal issues out, especially when it comes to a female. You was drunk, DUI all over a bit. We don't know that. This is just my assumption, but usually when it comes to black men, it's always over a female.
from the service. Fort Stewart, about 40 miles from Savannah, Georgia, on full lockdown for about an hour during the shooting event. This afternoon, authorities are also examining access point security at the Army facility with questions about how a soldier could smuggle a personal weapon onto the grounds. Privately owned weapons are not allowed past the main gate. Most employees at facilities are not armed even with military weapons. Alex?
Seems like a few things were missed here, Chuck. Thank you for the details. We appreciate it.
Brooks, and we begin.
Yeah, that's interesting though. Getting on the base with non-registered weapons. Well, it was registered probably to him, but just not registered with the Army. I didn't know that made a difference, but it's like he assaulted people. Maybe they pissed him off. A lot of people get harassed in the military. Like you heard over the past few years, women coming up missing, people harassing them. It's like a lot of bullshit fuckery goes on. Sometimes, depending on what base you're at, it's almost like elementary school. People just fucking with you for no reason. It's it's a lot of shit that goes on. So in my head, I'm like, either his coworkers was messing with him, they pissed him off. He maybe wanted to teach him a lesson. Maybe he didn't want to kill anybody. Maybe his intentions weren't to do that. Maybe that was just a warning. Like maybe next time, if there even is a next time, he'll delete all of you. We just don't know. Other than that, it was probably over a female. Let's just be real. A lot of these guys get emotional over these females. When things don't go right, they start having problems. Trouble in paradise. And when there's trouble in paradise, it's everybody else's fault. So I'm going to take my personal issues out on you. I'm going to harm you. And I don't know. PTSD is real, you guys. Get your domes checked out. This is Kylie Veo. I'll catch you in the next video. Salute.